Hello guys, welcome to our channel Biochemistry Supplements, where we will discuss various topics of biochemistry subject. Before going ahead, please hit the subscribe button so that you will be notified of upcoming videos.
Okay, so we'll be starting a new series over here. What we are going to do is we are going to discuss small comments so that it will be helpful in understanding the various question and intricate parts of the subject biochemistry. What I am going to call them as a explainer series. So we will be discussing small questions and I'll just jump into the questions. But before that, I'll just ask you to start commenting on the video so that we will be discussing, and plus put up your questions in the comment section. So in the next round, we'll be discussing about those questions again. So whatever the questions you find difficult in subject biochemistry, we'll be discussing those questions. So we'll start with the first question, that is, alcohol consumption leads to hypoglycemia and thiamine deficiency. We'll start with the first one. So what happens in alcohol consumption? Basically, ethanol is converted to acetaldehyde, and this acetaldehyde is converted to acetic acid, which goes ahead and creates the acetyl coenzyme A. But during this process, alcohol dehydrogenase enzyme is utilized, and it utilizes NAD plus and converts it into the NADH. So what happens is, here consumption ultimately leads to the metabolism and causes the too much amount of NADH production. Now this NADH production, what it does is that it changes the NADH and NAD plus ratio. It increases them. So going ahead, the pyruvate, whatever it is available after various reactions, will get converted into lactate, and it ultimately leads to the lactic acidosis. So if we go ahead, here ultimately what we are going to get is deficiency of pyruvate, which leads to the inadequate formation of oxaloacetate. So now this oxaloacetate is the requirement for gluconeogenesis. So less gluconeogenesis is happening inside the body, and over the time our glycogen storage is depleted to provide the glucose. So new glucose is not coming, glycogen is going away. Ultimately what we are having is hypoglycemia. So now going ahead, second condition, what happens? So chronic alcoholism, here what happens is that alcohol ingestion, it alters the structure of thiamine, plus it inhibits the intestinal ATPase, which helps in absorption of thiamine. Now this thiamine is not being absorbed, so absorption of thiamine from GIT is decreased, plus its utilization also gets decreased, ultimately leads to the thiamine deficiency. So this is our small first question. Now coming to the second question, vitamin B6 deficiency reduces the production of GABA. So what happens? Our active vitamin B6, the pyridoxine, what is the form name? It is pyridoxal phosphate. Now this pyridoxal phosphate is a coenzyme for glutamate decarboxylase, enzyme that converts glutamate into the GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid. Now you can see over here, L-glutamate with the help of glutamate decarboxylase requires PLP, converts GABA and CO2. Now this, if not available, PLP content because of the pyridoxine deficiency, what it will do is it will lead to GABA production being decreased. Now coming to the third question, omega-3 series of fatty acids are essential in diet. So which are the major omega-3 series of fatty acids? Basically they are unsaturated. So these are the major ones: linolenic acid, eicosapentaenoic acid EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid DHA. Out of this is one of the most important one. So now what happens here is that all of this they contain the unsaturated side, basically double bonds that is beyond the carbon 9. So now this is the problem. We do not have the enzymes that can introduce the double bonds beyond carbon 9, and that leads to the non-synthesis of these particular fatty acids inside the body. And when something is not available by body, it becomes the essential. So they are essential fatty acids. Okay. Fourth question: why Ag ratio is altered in multiple myeloma? So what is the primary defect in multiple myeloma actually? So what happens here is there is a single plasma cell clone proliferation, basically mutation. So which does is it produces too much amount of same type of immunoglobulin. Now what it causes is on electrophoresis, what we see is the gamma globulin fraction, there is a sharp peak, basically called as M band. Oppositely, there is a no effect of albumin. And now what happens is our Ag ratio gets reversed. Fifth is excessive cigarette smoking leads to emphysema. So what happens is smoking, it basically oxidizes the methionine residue inside the alpha antitrypsin. What is that? It's a serine protease inhibitor. Now what happens is that alpha 1 antitrypsin activity gets diminished against the enzyme that is elastase, which is present in the lungs. It's a proteolytic enzyme that is normally released by the neutrophil when you do the smoking. So what happens? The lung gets damaged and there is an abnormal lung distension, and this particular condition is called as emphysema. Okay. Next, why ZDNA is left-handed? So what is ZDNA? We know that there is aDNA, bDNA and ZDNA. bDNA is the most prominent one. So ZDNA is a left-handed conformation and it is slightly thinner and elongated compared to the bDNA. Now basically ZDNA compared to the bDNA is formed from purine and pyrimidine dinucleotides. So what happens is that two nucleotides continuously are repeated again and again, and they are having a different conformations. So when conversion from bDNA to ZDNA is occurring, there is what we call it as a flipping that happens. Here deoxycytidines, they remain in the anti-conformation, while deoxyguanosines, bases, they are converted, only the base part they are converted to unusual syn form. So now what happens, it creates a zigzag path that you can see here. This is the bDNA which is continuously right-handed going, but here in ZDNA it creates a zigzag path, and that is the reason behind ZDNA being left-handed. Okay. Next question. Vomiting causes metabolic alkalosis. So what is the primary defect in alkalosis? Increase in the plasma bicarbonate and reduction in H+. So what does basically vomiting do? In vomiting, our gastric contents come out. Now in our gastric content, too much amount of HCl is there. So along this with the gastric content, HCl is being removed, and with that being a part of HCl, hydrogen or protons are also removed. So ultimately we are getting this condition, reduction in H+, and that leads to the metabolic alkalosis. Last question for today's session. Folate deficiency is associated with the coronary artery disease. Now what happens in the folate deficiency is that there is a low levels of tetrahydrofolate. This is the active form of folate. Now what is the implications? Tetrahydrofolate is utilizing the homocysteine to methionine conversion. So our conversion of homocysteine to methionine is decrease because there is a less availability of THF, and then it leads to the increased homocysteine into the plasma. Now what is the work of homocysteine? It increases the oxidative stress, it impairs the endothelial function and induces the thrombosis, and all these three functions leads to ultimately coronary artery disease on a longer term. Thank you very much.